Alright guys, this is Casey's Raw again, and talking wrestling again. And also, I'm talking about, kind of like we're still kind of talking about the CM Punk situation, the Elite situation, but I'm listening to Conan's podcast, and God, I just hate hearing Disco Inferno talk, because one, he's not getting all the facts straight. He starts the timeline and he gets the timeline wrong, and then he's saying no, that Tony Khan bought a wrestling business, a wrestling company. If you're talking about Ring of Honor, yes, he did buy Ring of Honor. He founded AEW. So, he didn't buy AEW. I could start a business without fucking putting any money into it. And I wouldn't say I bought this business. I do agree. I feel like if, let's say, Tony Khan buys Ring of Honor before he started up AEW, and then he rechanges it to AEW, and then he sees the staff behind it, maybe keeps some of the staff, saying, this is what I envisioned. But he just Disco keeps on saying wrong stuff. Like I said, the timeline, it keeps saying, Tony Khan bought the wrestling business. Like, and I'm assuming he's talking about AEW. Then if he's talking about AEW, then you're fucking wrong, Disco. Grow a fucking brain, you dumb fuck. I mean, this guy is the same guy who talked some shit to a woman who just lost her husband. I'm talking about Brody Lee. And he's like demanding the cause of death. I'm like, what an idiot. You're gonna talk shit to the widow? You're an asshole. And I'm a widower, and I really think that's an asshole move, so doubly fuck you, Disco. You're a really dumb piece of shit. I don't even know why Conan wants him on that freaking show. The guy's... I don't even think the guy's smart at all. I mean, if he was smart enough, wouldn't he be still working at TNA behind the scenes, or even at, let's say, AEW, or behind the scenes at WWE? Because the guy doesn't have a creative bone in his body. I mean, I'm pretty much stealing ideas to be Disco Inferno. You know, and, like, yeah, granted there wasn't a disco wrestler, but he pretty much stole the Stone Cold Stunner. And, yeah, Stone Cold stole it from Johnny Ace, was the Ace Crusher. And then you got all the cutters, but his was like almost identical to the Stone Cold Stunner. So I really think the guy doesn't have a creative bone in his body. So I'll take Conan's opinion way more than fucking Disco. At least Conan knows how to be part of a company. He's been a booker. I'm not sure he owned any of the companies, but I know he's been a booker for back down in Mexico. And some of the stuff Conan brings up makes a lot of sense. While I hear Disco, he's just freaking idiot. But I'm trying to listen to the show because I want to get everyone's opinion what's going on with the whole CM Punk and the elite situation. I mean, I've been watching and listening to a bunch of podcasts. One of the best ones today, it's gotta be Wrestling Soup. If you want to listen to Wrestling Soup for at least the first 4 minutes, it's hilarious. I highly suggest, I would say, listen to the whole thing. It's really great. But the first 4 minutes quite funny. I've been really watching Fightful on their coverage. And I've been watching the Solid Monster and Don Tony. And even Joe Cronin getting everyone's opinion about the situation. We hadn't heard anything about the situation with Ace Steel and CM Punk situation. We just know, learning from the now since today's Thursday, since watching Dynamite last night. And Dynamite was great, by the way. Highly suggest go watch Dynamite. But finding out that CM Punk was stripped of the AEW World Championship a couple days later after re-winning it again, and then the Elite is being stripped of the World's Trios Tag Team Championships. And honestly, I agree with everyone. There's way too many belts. Time for Trios belts it's way too early. I mean, one, they need to expand Rampage to 2 hours, and they gotta stop just putting their B players on Rampage. Well, Dynamite, you have all the A players on there, and you're not guaranteed to get any of the A players on Rampage. And it's 1 hour. They really need to expand it to 2. Or, here's an idea. You put the like you do it anyways, act like it's a 2-hour show. You start it like 1 hour on YouTube, and then you put the other hour onto TNT, and then you show, hey, look how many people is watching the first hour on YouTube. And maybe, hey, that's when the second hour is done, if there's some spillover, you go back to YouTube. So I think they need to utilize YouTube a little bit more. I mean, yes, they got Dark and Dark Elevation, but that's where they put a bunch of the wrestlers who've been floating in mediocrity. I mean, granted, I hadn't watched it, but I'm like, there's no point. It's like how back in the day, I used to, when Raw and SmackDown wasn't separate brands, I was like, fuck it, why watch SmackDown when I'll find out or be updated by watching Monday Night Raw? So, yeah, like I suggest, watch those other people's shows. I'm not saying don't go watch Conan's show, but damn it, I forgot something. I'll be right back. So yeah, I mean, I highly suggest watch Wrestling Soup on the CM Punk situation and Don Tony's Soul Monster. I'm not going to say not check out Keeping It Real with Conan, but it's just so hard to sit and listen when Disco Inferno talks. It just makes me feel dumber. And he talks so fast. I think his brain doesn't catch up because he's from New York, and you know, people from New York needs to talk super fucking fast. So they're like, oh, I got a billion things I need to say at the... And then you sound like an idiot, like Disco Inferno. So, yeah, I've been entertained hearing about the situations with CM Punk in the league. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Ah, shit. I was about to pull out this pump and you know what? I'll go to a different. Screw it, I'll go here. So I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.